And we're back yet again with this time Hell in a Cell. Well, only the Hell in a Cell matches. I didn't see anything else on this show
Pretty much so.
because the only things that pretty much were only of interest in this was the Hell in a Cell matches. I mean, Reigns and Rusev to me not that much interest. I mean, you kind of know where it was gonna go there, and it did. The Owens and Rollins, I mean, not that interesting. Pretty much the only Hell in a Cell match I was really interested in was the women's championship match.
Of course, despite the finish.
But yeah, we'll get to that. So, anyways, let's just plow through this thing. Uh, they opened it with the Hell in a Cell match with the United States title match, Reigns and Rusev. Actually, I would have to say this was the better of the two. This was the better Hell in a Cell match of the two.
Between Rusev and Reigns and Rollins and Owens.
Well, better. I think it was a little bit more better than Owens and Rollins, and maybe a little bit of Charlotte and Sasha, mate. Because I don't know. I thought it wasn't like this wasn't like an amazing Hell in a Cell match. It wasn't the greatest,
Yeah.
but I think it was fine. I think
Was it better than last year's between Reigns and Wyatt?
maybe a little bit better than maybe it was a little bit better than that. Yeah, because I thought this was fine. I thought this was good. Reigns going over was what it was. I'm pretty fine with it. Really, no complaints there. Reigns he kind of needs that. He doesn't need that belt, but I think I think he's a more legit guy to hold that belt. He's a former three-time WWE World Champion already. I think he could. He's at least elevating the title a little bit more, making it a little more important. So
And prestigious.
what?
And prestigious.
Not really prestigious, but he's making it like a little more important, a little bit more talked about now.
Oh, like The Miz.
Yeah, at least the Miz. I hate to say it. As much as I really don't like him as an in ring competitor, but I like him as entertainer because that's what he. Or I don't like how he started as a. You know what it is? I hate how he started as like a reality show guy and all that. Like because I'm not a fan of reality shows, but I do like that he's entertaining. I do like that he. I do like how he's great on the mic and everything. So that kind of makes up for it.
Okay, then, so no more complaints about his in-ring work?
No, there's still complaints. There still is.
Even after that promo that Miz had with Daniel Bryan about which wrestling style is better, either you more entertaining, have a shortening career, or wrestle more safely and last for years.
Don't matter. I'm just not a fan of it.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, Reigns and Rusev probably the better of the two. Um, then I didn't see the rest of what happened between the other non Hell in a Cell matches until we get to Owens versus Rollins for the WWE Universal title, and this was getting somewhere a little bit, but then you get the door opening and the door. I forgot how the door opened. I think like one of the trainers came to check on the referee because he got hit or something. I forgot what it was, but then you have Jericho run in and interfere pretty much the entire match after that, which is like, oh, come on. Like, here's my problem with this. It's just you have Owens win the championship thanks to Triple H's interference, which at first was fine. So they figured now you got to have Owens win without interference and all that to kind of make him a legit champion. But now now every time he's defending the title, Jericho's always interfering on his behalf, and now always making it a 2-on-1 with him and Rollins.
Right now this world title reign with Kevin Owens makes Rollins' world title reigns actually look good.
Yeah, and I didn't think that was possible, but they managed to do it. And it was just the whole time. Owens was getting help from Jericho, and now and Owens beat Owens beat not Jericho. Owens beat Rollins in this Hell in a Cell match, and that was kind of it. It was just stupid. Like now, like how are we supposed to take Owens seriously as a champion if Jericho's always interfering in his matches and always helping him win?
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, this one was just good thing actually. This did not main event. I'm actually glad that this WWE Universal title match didn't main event.
Most that would have been terrible.
Yeah, but anyway, we get to the final Hell in a Cell match, and that was the women's championship. And I went into this very intrigued. I wanted to see what they were gonna do here, how the women were gonna perform in a Hell in a Cell match, and just the bizarre sighting of seeing women inside Hell in a Cell. It's going pretty good. You have Charlotte, like I think she attacked Sasha early. She put her through a table, like powerbombed her through a table, and did this whole thing where they really overdo now the whole like getting hurt, going on a stretcher, but then getting back up at the last second. Like it's like okay, Mick Foley did it. Mick Foley did it at King of the Ring '98. Now a lot of people are not. Now like everyone else is doing it.
It is a shame.
That's just typical WWE. You take something completely organic and then you just recycle and rehash it. It's just completely ridiculous. But then once you get through all that, it was going good until they botched a couple of table spots, which then was kind of like, this is not going that good.
And this is worse than SummerSlam.
Yeah, like no, yeah, I was gonna say too, like it was going good until they were doing the table spots, and then they were completely botching it, and it just went downhill from there.
But before it gone downhill, you remember that one spot where Sasha Banks climbed onto the cage and then did her double knee drop onto Charlotte?
What? Wait, what was it?
So I believe Sasha was charging at Charlotte. Charlotte got out of the way, and then Sasha jumped onto the cage from the inside, then jumped off the cage onto Charlotte with the double knee.
Jumped off the cage. Oh, I think I don't know. I don't remember that. I just remember the bad table spots that they try and do, and then after that it was kind of going somewhere. I was like, all right, what's gonna happen now? And then Charlotte hits natural selection and she beats Sasha, and then it's like, wow.
I got it. No, it is a shame.
For the love of God, can you not have Charlotte go over Sasha on a pay-per-view? Like, how many times do they keep making this mistake?
First WrestleMania 32, then SummerSlam, now Hell in a Cell. What's next? Sasha's gonna win the title again sometime later this year or early next year on Raw? Yeah, right.
Well, you know what? Now I'm glad. Now I'm kind of glad WWE experimented having the women's title match, because now it looks like they're never gonna do it again, are never going to do a Hell in a Cell match again with the women. After
Well,
this,
that's because of WWE's booking.
It's also. But I mean, you can't blame it solely because of WWE. It's also because
I know, but yes,
it's also because how they perform.
And Charlotte's fault as well.
It's also their spots. It's also Charlotte and Sasha's performance too. It's not just you can't blame it entirely on the book WWE booking and everything. You got to blame the performers a little bit too. Especially in this case, there were some sloppy spots. There was they screwed up the table spots. They screwed up a few other spots. A lot of it looked choppy. It just like they experimented it and it failed. That's pretty much what happened here.
But could have been something great turned into a flop.
I know, and I was interested to see it, and of course, when I'm interested in seeing something, the WWE manages to just turn it all into crap, into garbage.
Aside from Styles and Cena.
Yeah, well, yeah, except they managed to pull that off right. But yeah, this wasn't a great show, but I was a little I was more. It was a little bit of a disappointment, though. I mean, the only good match was Reigns and Rusev. The only good Hell in a Cell match was Reigns and Rusev. Rollins and Owens wasn't great, and then the women's championship Hell in a Cell had potential, but then it eventually turned to crap. And of course, from what I heard too of why they had Charlotte win is because she's one of Triple H's chosen ones.
Right, it's already starting.
And from what I'm hearing too, one of my friends even told me that one of my friends told me that they're planning to have Charlotte match her father with 16-time championship wins.
Please don't.
And this is the problem too. This is why I'm not liking Charlotte, and I'm not and she's not gonna be as big as they want her to be because now they're putting her in her father's shadow. She's completely when she should have been completely different from her dad.
Yes,
You think about it this way. You think about second generation, third generation wrestlers. They were successful because they weren't like their father, or weren't like their family members, or past their past family members that have wrestled.
Pretty much so.
You look at Randy Orton. He wasn't dressed as a cowboy, as Cowboy Bob Orton. He was a different guy. He had a different persona. He had a different look. He had a different rings. He had a different move set.
Yep, including The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock too. He wasn't Rocky Johnson, or he wasn't his father Rocky Johnson, or he wasn't High Chief Peter Maivia. He was The Rock, and he became a bigger star than his dad and his grandfather.
Pretty much so.
And now you look at Charlotte. She's exactly like Ric Flair, except it's a female version.
Yep. Yes, but as I was previously saying, it's already starting. I was saying, oh no, it's starting where Triple H is starting to become Vince McMahon. We're just going to neglect other great stars and only focus on his particular favorites.
Yeah, and he has favorites, and obviously, as you could see, Charlotte is one of them.
Yes.
And it's also because him and Flair are great friends in real life.
Yep, I really hope that, or at least I'm not surprised if you say that, oh no, I'm starting to lose hope in WWE now, or at least lose hope in Triple H, because he's starting to become a bit like Vince now.
Well, he was trained by the best, I guess.
What do you mean, Triple H?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.